Hey guys, Halak Carrier and 16 here. Um, well, what's much more to say? Today we are going to talk about the Miller Ott Halak Stewart Carrier Blues blockbuster trade. Um, I don't look good this morning. It's the morning. Just woke up. It's around 8:14. I just wanted to get this video in. And well, here's my perspective on it. It wasn't perhaps bad trade for Buffalo, but it wasn't good. It was okay. Um, let's see. Well, if you guys didn't know the trade, it's Miller and Ott for Halak, Stewart, and Carrier, a first round pick in 2015, and a conditional pick. Um, well, I can see where he was going with here. His first statement was he wanted he doesn't see why there has to be a 5+ year rebuild for us. He says with the right moves, he can get us a 2 to 3 year rebuild. Which I can see where he's coming from. He's trying to buy us more time for our rookies. I went up and searched up the ages for these players. Miller was 33 and Ott was 31. I knew those by heart. Um, but Halak, he was 28, which makes him 5 years younger than Miller. He can get better, he can get worse. No one really knows. He's a pretty decent goalie for the Blues. He's their starting goalie. Remember, if you guys didn't know, I'm talking about this on Buffalo's standpoint. From Buffalo, New York. If you can see that, that's up there. That's Buffalo poster. But anyway, um, right now I'm talking in Buffalo's point of view. Like, I think that it was an okay trade for him. Chris Stewart, he was 26, 5 years younger than I. And Carrier, he's a prospect. Um, his closest age would be Stewart, because he's 19. So, let's see, 7 years younger than Stewart, which makes him 11 years younger than Ott. Or wait, no, 12 years younger than Ott. Um, There's more to say here for the Buffalo stuff. It's an okay trade. We traded our captain for, yeah, we traded. I'm pretty sure he was still our captain. He was our captain, yeah. Then we traded our starting goalie. That was a great goalie for us in those years. I'd like to say goodbye. Thank you for your time. You did really well here, actually. Your tribute last night, it was something. I'm going to turn this way just so we don't get as much glare. So yeah, your tribute on the Jumbotron, if you guys didn't see it, it was a pretty decent tribute to his greatest saves in Buffalo. If you guys see me looking down this way, that's because I have my paper here. So there's like on a little sheet of paper, and that's because I don't remember things too well. Except I do remember the tribute. It was very emotional. Definitely a disappointing moment in our season to see a guy like Miller, 12 years here, go. That means he came in when he was 21, and he's been a Sabre ever since. I mean, I would have liked to see him go and retire here as a franchise player. That would have been definitely something good. So for he was starting to fall off. He was a great player here. If you guys don't know, his contract is done this year, so it's kind of a good thing. Which, I mean, I could see that strategical point there. Odd contract ends this year, and so if he decides to resign, he could resign with Buffalo. that would be a great thing. Because that would mean we were really only traded Miller for these 3 or 5 things. Because I don't know. I'm pretty sure Miller's contract does expire this year. Maybe it does. I don't know. It either expires this year or next year. Or did we sign him to a bigger deal? I don't really know. But if his contract does expire, that's going to be something because he's not going to want to resign in St. Louis. He'll probably want to resign farther west because his wife wanted him to move to the Western Conference because it would make him closer to her. If you don't know, she's a model in California, but moving to Missouri isn't as good as moving to like San Jose or to Phoenix. And so, well, Miller, if you guys watched his interview last night, he did not want to go. You could see that something was forcing him to move, or forcing him to want to go. Yeah, a couple of his interviews previous to that, he had been kind of on a rebellious note, and he didn't really seem like he wanted to be with Buffalo. But now, coming from this interview, everyone knows that he wanted to be in Buffalo, and it was a very emotional trade for him. He almost started crying at the end. If you guys watch it. And then Ott was there. He a little less emotional, but that can't really be said because he was only on the team for a year and a half, actually. No, yeah, just makes it a year. Disappointing trade. That we had to lose 2 of our better players. Now going into the St. Louis end of the deal. St. Louis only got Miller and Ott, and people will be saying that Buffalo got the better end of the deal, maybe. But if you really look at it from their GM's perspective, I don't know who their GM is. Yeah, I bet you guys can tell I just woke up my eyes are all puffed up. Yeah. So you guys traded away Halak, Carrier, and Stewart for Miller and Ott. Some of you guys will be saying it's a garbage trade because you also traded away first round pick and a conditional pick. But that's actually a pretty decent trade for you guys. It's almost a blockbuster. Well, it is a blockbuster, but it's almost a gangbuster deal. You guys are trading away youth in Carrier down here. Someone in his prime in Stewart, and someone in his prime that's almost going to be a veteran in Halak. But Halak doesn't have enough playoff experience for them. Neither does Stewart, I don't think. Carrier definitely doesn't because he's just a prospect. Then we have Miller and Ott, who you bring in. Ott, who's gone to the playoffs countless numbers of times. Same thing in Miller. This will really do them good. Miller knows what he's doing in the playoffs, and Ott does too. If you really want to realize, Miller will always turn it on during the playoffs. No matter what, he'll turn it on during the playoffs. He could have had the worst season. I still think he'd turn it on during the playoffs. You guys trading away Halak. He's starting goalie, I'm pretty sure. So that's basically starting goalie for starting goalie. Stewart for Ott, forward for forward. And then Carrier, because Stewart's not quite on Ott's level, they put Carrier in there. They realized that Halak and Miller aren't 100% on the same level, so they threw in a first round pick for 2015. And then, just to sweeten it up a little bit, they put in a conditional pick. Now, this trade here is probably better for St. Louis, I'm going to say, because we have to wait for this trade to turn out. They know that their trade, if it doesn't work this year, it's going to be an unsuccessful trade because Ott's contract expires Let's see if um, let's see if Miller's expires. Actually, that's what I was going to do. If that's why it looks a little bit laggy, I can't see myself either in the camera. Highlight and oh, well, I spelled his name out. Ryan. Oh boy, this is gonna be a laggy time. Ryan Miller. This is why it's difficult. My computer it's a fast computer. Just I'm doing so many things right now, and it'll take a little bit. So sorry if I'm a little bit quiet. Not much to talk about right now. So Ryan Miller, he got a contract extension in 2009-2010 for 5 years at 6.25 mil. Also he cannot. Also he has a no trade clause. Can list 8 teams he will not accept the trade to. Which that doesn't really matter. So 2009-2010, that's 1 year. 2010-2011, that's another. 2011-2012, 2012-2013, 2013-2014. Miller's contract does expire this year, so this could be a bad trade for St. Louis because we could get both our players back if we honestly wanted to. We could pick them up off free agents, but I doubt Miller would come. Maybe. Depending on if they can win the Stanley Cup this year, this is a good bad trade. Trying to wrap this video up here, so thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please come back in.